Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, I want to talk about a few altcoins, the ones that are on fire, including Shiba, Fantom, Harmony, and a brand new one that I haven't talked a lot about before, Kadena. Why are these altcoins on fire? And also, what's going on with Bitcoin? Why is it stagnant? Is something going to happen this week? Well, let's discuss. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams almost every day. These days, pretty much 2 every day. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash the like. And make sure you follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hopefully you guys enjoyed DCA this morning. I will say though, today, being on Rob's channel for the first time, a little bit different, but overall, I think we had a good conversation. All right, guys, let's do this. Lively crowd. You guys must be waiting since I didn't stream this morning. I did post out an older video where I mentioned Bitcoin was at 44,000 because it was at 44,000. And people are like freaking out saying, Jordan, what are you talking about 44,000 Bitcoin? I was hoping people will figure it out, but some didn't. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy that video about becoming a one coiner, and how that can go up to $1 million and how that can help you attain financial freedom, right? Just by having that one. So if you didn't watch that video, make sure you do so. All right, so now you can see Bitcoin this weekend just hanging out, right? We touched upon this 59.6 a couple times. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, and you go back here, we had the same event over here. This is a pretty good support right now. And every time Bitcoin hit it, it bounced right back up. And we bounced a little bit higher right now, about 61.7, because you can see most of this weekend was basically in the 60s, right? It does look like it is ready to move, right? So before getting to altcoins, let's talk about it. What is coming tomorrow? Okay? Well, according to Michael Saylor, 218,000 financial advisors in the United States that manage $110 trillion of the assets can now allocate some assets towards Bitcoin ETFs. So this seems like pretty positive, and that's because we now do have Bitcoin ETFs. Last week we had the very first one, actually 2, the Pro Shares, then Valkyrie, and tomorrow we're launching a third from Van Eyck. So that will be 3 Bitcoin ETFs. So we'll see what happens tomorrow when the market opens, right? Whether or not we see like a spike or not, right? But to Michael Saylor's point, we have a lot of financial advisors out there that's holding an enormous amount of assets with their clients, and now they can recommend Bitcoin because we do have a Bitcoin futures ETF. Of course, I don't want to hype it up too much. It's not as good as Bitcoin spot ETF, but it is what we have right now for these corporations that can't hold Bitcoin because of financial reasons, for accounting reasons, whatever reasons. They can now hold ETF and finance. I mean, accounting is as easy as holding anything else, right? So that is coming tomorrow. All right, Jonathan says, can you comment on fundamentals on sushi are so strong yet the price has been horrible? Why doesn't it pump? Sushi is because it's in the shadow of Uniswap. That's why. I mean, sushi still is holding well. It does go up and down, but it's in the shadow of Uniswap because it was second on Ethereum, even though it's cross-chain. Most of the big listings, like in terms of new IDOs and new coins that get listed, who do they go? They go to number 1, Uniswap, right? So sushi's the number of coins and basically liquidity is just not as good as Uniswap. So that's why it hasn't caught up. All right, so there's that, right? Of course, Plan B is still chiming in with his stock to flow. And right now, Bitcoin is back in the red. But he anticipates that it's going to stay in the red for many, many months. So, of course, a lot of people are talking about November, December. But a lot of people are now talking about moving into 2022. right? How Bitcoin's bull run will extend in 2022. And that's awesome because that means we have more months to enjoy the gains, and not only with Bitcoin, with altcoins, because altcoins are still doing very, very well at this point, right? And today, that's what I want to talk about outside of Bitcoin. You can see market cap is above 2.6 trillion again. We're getting back to that 2.7, which is our previous high, right? And that's because this weekend, a lot of altcoins came up. Solana had a really good movement up to 215 just a few days ago, now to 200. Ethereum is hovering around 4,100, right? Doge is up for some reason today, maybe because of Shib being up, right? Shib is up 9%, and I want to talk about why it's up. But you have many others that are doing well, that have done well, and there's a few that are doing well. For example, one of them I want to talk about is Fantom today. Another one is Harmony, that's up pretty significant today. And there's a new one that I want to talk about briefly, and it was brought to my attention a while ago. Started looking into them a little bit more, and they have been on fire within this last week, moving up 50% just today and 221% within the last 7 days. So I'm going to talk about Kadena a little bit as well. All right, let's start out with fan favorite, viewer favorite, and that is Shib. Why is Shib up 9% today? It's at 0.00040 now. Market cap is above 20 billion, and overall 44% this week. Of course, I just talked about Shiba last night in terms of why I think it's better, way better than Doge. But there are two big things that were announced today. Number one, where is it? Where is that? I lost it. Is this. Now, I don't know. Thank you for that super chat. I don't know if this is fake. I think it is because Robinhood did not announce it. No one else confirmed it. But you have this one page project called CoinMomo that listed that Shiba will be added to Robinhood tomorrow, right? Did they get an inside source, or they just made this up to artificially pump Shiba? I don't know, right? So this is what I think caused Shiba to go up even more. Yesterday I talked about how Robinhood will add Shiba. I know they will, but I didn't think it would be this soon. And if this happens tomorrow, it will be huge. But this is the one thing that is really driving things up today. But it did go down and back up. And that's because someone asked, or Shiba's account asked, whether or not Elon had any Shib. And his response was no. And when he said that, Shib just cratered and came down. But then, the Shiba army just kept buying it all the way back up. So it's still way up in the green. And it does show that whether or not Elon supports it, there is just a lot of holders that believe in it and continue to buy it. So that does show the community is definitely very strong, with or without Elon. So that's the only two things about Shiba right now. Robinhood, rumors. Is it going to be added tomorrow? I don't know. I think it's too soon. I think it's probably going to be sometime in November when crypto is even hotter and Robinhood lists it, and then it's going to be like crazy FOMO among retail investors. It could be like that, or it could be tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see if this is just fake or not. All right. Now, let's move to some of the other ones that you guys may be curious about, like Fantom. Now, Fantom is a project I talked about for many months now, and they're like a layer 2. The best way to think about them is they're layer 2, but they have gone beyond that. So they are EVM compatible chain, meaning that any Ethereum based project can move to Fantom, utilize Ethereum EVM, utilize Solidity as a programming language, and basically it's just very easy to come over. Okay, and why would you want to come over? Well, to get rid of high gas fees and congestion. So Fantom was definitely created for that, but since then they have drawn in a lot of dApps, a lot of users, and that's why they're standing their own, and that's why they're starting to go up. So, I talk about a lot of these network protocols, these layer 1s like Ethereum, Solana, Terra, and the list goes on and on and on. But Fantom is like a layer 2 that kind of can stand on its own like a layer 1. And it's definitely like a mid cap that's starting to go up and creep up. The market cap is around 4 billion, somewhere around there. Where's Fantom? Maybe I missed it. There we go. Fantom is, 4.47 billion, right? So it's a mid cap. It's not a big cap yet, but it slowly just keeps going up and up and up. And you can see this. This is amazing. Up 1,200% within the last 3 months. 1,200%, 12x in the last 3 months. Even the last 30 days, up 121%, right? So Fantom definitely has the momentum right now. And why is that? Well, there's just a lot of things going on. So they tweeted this not too long ago, just 2 days ago. They just surpassed 100 million transactions. They have close to 1 million unique wallets, also 80,000 active wallets per day, and more importantly, 750,000 transactions per day. So nearing 1 million. And just to remind you guys, Ethereum can only process about 1.2, 1.3 right now. So that means Fantom is about half of Ethereum in terms of how much it handles per day. So that's pretty significant. Also, they have a robust ecosystem. So if you look here in Oracles, they have every single one, including Chainlink. You look at integrations like Ren, Orion Protocol, DAOmaker, Superfarm, Injective, Unilend, Clover. There's a lot of dApps, and I know this is outdated. There's a lot more to it. If you scroll through Fantom's Twitter, you'll see that there's just a lot of stuff going on, right? Even their Fantom development kit is on DEX tools now, so it makes it easy for DEXs to come aboard like these DEXs. And they have a lot of other stuff. Here's one where they're teaming up with F1 and Red Bull. That's huge. Here's one where it's an NFT, and there's more NFTs here, like this Puri Gasly, right? So there's just a lot of things going on, and this is what you want to see with a network protocol, right? You want to just see a ton of dApps and usage and developers, and of course this helps. They have a 370 million incentive program to entice people to come over. So that's honestly the reason why Fantom is going up, because there's just a lot of things going on, right? And I do believe they will continue. They have all the momentum right now. They're drawing in everyone, and usage keeps growing. And I do think that they can keep going up and maybe become a big cap in the near future. And I define big caps as 10 billion. So they can definitely double. And of course, when the market gets really, really hot and Bitcoin goes up to 150, 200,000, they could go up a lot more than that. So that's why Fantom is going up, and that's why I like them as a project. Now, number two, let's talk about, number three. Number three, let's talk about Harmony, which is a project I talked about many, many, many times before. I covered that months ago. Where did they go? I keep missing out on these. I think they're right around here. 3 billion. So slightly less than Fantom, right? But you could see that they have done also very well within the last 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, 300%, 3x. That's not too bad. Harmony is also a network protocol, and also you can think we got like a layer 2, because again, just like Fantom, EVM compatible, and they support Solidity, and they already have sharding done, which is a scaling mechanism. And I'm going to show you how impressive it is. But that's what Ethereum 2.0 wants to do. They want to scale with sharding, and Harmony uses the same mechanism and already can scale. And the finality is extremely, extremely low. So that has definitely helped them with their ecosystem and their growth. All right, hold on. I have no idea what the Ragnar Regiment NFT collection is. Sorry, I can't comment on that. Another great episode, Matt says, of DCA. Best collaboration in the space. I have so much good information. Hope it runs for a long time. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I'm not going to check another Inu coin. All right, so Harmony. So if you look at what's going on with them, you know what? Just like Fantom, how they have a 300 plus million fund, Harmony also has a 300 million fund to accelerate adoption and builders and so forth, right? And this is, if you think about it, a lot of money. It's not 3 million, it's not 10 million, it's 300 million, okay? 300 million. And if you look through Harmony's Twitter, you'll see how active they are too. They're going to basically every single conference, Missouri and many others, and basically just forming partnerships, getting out there, right? And getting people involved with it. So again, just like Fantom, they're doing all the right things to attract users and devs, right? I was looking at this because they do have sharding. They have very, very fast finality and block latency, right? Or low block latency, I should say. I was looking at transaction history. They're processing over 2.4 million right now per day. 2.4. Remember, I got done saying that Ethereum only handles 1.3, 1.2. So Harmony right now processes more than double Ethereum's transactions per day. Think about that. It's already, you could argue, twice as big as Ethereum, even though I know it's not, but it's processing twice the amount of transactions already. That's mind-boggling. I didn't know how much. I knew like Binance Smart Chain and some of these other network protocols, their transaction count was already higher, but Harmony is just going through the roof right now, right? So that is also very positive, shows you how many people are using them. And if you look at, their DeFi ecosystem, huge. Sushi recently moved the board. Someone asked me about Sushi, Viper Swap, Mochi Swap, protocol, Open Swap, Jelly Swap, C Swap, and keeps going on and on and on. Also NFTs, they have an NFT marketplace. I didn't know that. DaVinci Marketplace, so you could buy NFTs on here. 56,000 minted, just 3,800 minted last week. And you have DeFi projects like Play Different Games, like DeFi Kingdoms, where it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And that's also helping Harmony in a big way. So overall, Harmony is going up for the same reason that Fantom is going up, because they just have a lot of things going on. And just like Fantom, I think they're going to continue. They're going to go higher, and I think they're going to become a big cap. And also, they're probably going to go much higher than just double. Probably 3, 4, 5x by the end of this year. So definitely a really, really good hold. Someone says transaction count is high because DeFi Kingdoms. I don't doubt that. So looks like a very, very good game. What do you think about Quant? I think it's promising, but I didn't look into them yet. I do know that they are, they're focused on businesses, interoperability. They seem like they're promising. Why Fantom Alive? CoinWatch is a market cap 4.5 when CoinMarketCap CoinGecko is 6.9. Undiluted. I don't know. I'll ask Live CoinWatch. Sometimes they get things off, so they're still a newer project. I'll ask them to see if they can clarify on that. But if they are, they're still a mid cap. All right. Lastly, this is a new project. I've never covered them before, and I don't have all the knowledge on this project, but I thought I had to mention it because they have climbed up so much so fast, and that is Kadena, which is at above $1 billion now. So they've gone up so much today and just so much overall the last week. Why is that, right? Kadena, I knew them from before. They are a blockchain created by the founders of JP Morgan Coin and JP Morgan Chain. So that is their claim to fame, but they are all about like a network protocol, right? Interesting enough, they're hybrid, so they have a proof of work setup that's for public, and also a Byzantine fault tolerance, which is very similar to proof of stake for private. So they're doing it both ways. They want the resiliency of proof of work network, right, and also the speed and also some of the intricacies that you can get with the Byzantine fault tolerance chain for businesses. So they're also concentrating heavily on businesses, but also retail. They're kind of concentrating on both, right? And if you look at it, they're made to scale really fast. They say that they are very scalable, very secure, and of course very energy efficient. And they have a few partnerships already. But I think the big thing that's going for this project is the team and advisors. And I already mentioned it. These two guys, right? They partnered up and they created a JP Morgan chain for JP Morgan. And also one of the partners was the tech lead for the SEC's cryptocurrency steering committee. So he actually had some experience, a little stint within the SEC. And one of their advisors is Dr. Stuart Haber, who is the co-inventor of the blockchain and most cited author in Satoshi Nakamoto renowned 2008 white paper. So they have him as advisor. And recently, well, before I get that, and then also if you look at the rest of the team in terms of engineering and stuff, they got guys from Apple, Microsoft, Disney, Hewlett-Packard, and so forth. So their team actually seems very, very strong. And of course, they have banking experience and regulation experience because of the founders' past history, right? And also, they're building on consumer grade stuff too. Like for example, this is a beta test of the swap that they plan on releasing. And Terra, one of my favorites, have already partnered up with them, saying that they're going to bring over their Terra USD. And recently, why I think they shot up so much is because they announced they are creating their new NFT marketplace. They claim it's going to be the best, right? There's still work in development, but that seemed to have jump-started things. Like just 2 days ago, they announced it on their Twitter, and then they started blowing up. So we know that NFTs are really hot right now, so that could be the reason, but it doesn't explain why they're up 50% today. I mean, it really doesn't, and it's not something that you should FOMO in after it goes up 50%. But this is a project relatively new on my radar, so I'm going to do more research into them. But that, you know what, the best thing about them is it seems like it's their team, a very strong team, so that could definitely help them going forward. So thought I'd bring that up. All right, that's pretty much it. I covered the hot altcoins. Of course, there are other hot ones, the ones that I usually talk about, but tonight I decided to cover a few that I don't talk about very often, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. All right, now let's do some Q&A. All right, scrolling up here, making sure I didn't miss anything. Corey says AMP to 30 to 80 cents end of the year. That sounds reasonable. AMP just, you know what? AMP is just like an enigma. Okay, 30 to 80 cents, a little bit far off. I mean, maybe 30 cents, but I don't know. Yeah, you know what? AMP is just an enigma because, after they got added on Coinbase, they literally shot up to the moon, right? And then afterwards, just like all momentum lost. So it was really, really strange, right? I figured they would have more momentum. I've always said that AMP will grow as retail, as retail spaces come back to life from the pandemic, because the Flex app will be used more and then AMP will be used more, right? But something is just really holding them back, and they have not gone up at all. But I still think they're in the right space, the right backers. They could definitely continue to do well, but there is something holding them back right now. I'm not sure what. Maybe their token economics, the way they operate, but they also have really good staking too. You can earn high interest. So they seem to be a very complete project. I'm not sure. CPK, Nervous Network, you know what? I think they have promise. They've been out for a while, but what they're really concentrating on is interoperability right now. They just created a bridge with Ethereum, and they're going to create a bridge to Cardano. Really, they have this big partnership with Cardano. And plus, I believe Nervos is going to help them basically be the bridge for all other chains. I think pretty much that's their mission. So it won't even stop at Ethereum. I believe they're going to continue to do so, maybe with Solana, with Terra with maybe VeChain, maybe, right? I think they're going to be doing bridges all around. So, yeah, promise. Redodo. No information about market cap and so forth. Probably very small cap. Gambling experience. All right, I'm just gonna stop right there at gambling experience. Any updates on VeChain? Anyone? No, I have no updates. I mean, they still continue to operate. They still continue to form partnership, but no real reason why it's stagnant. Can you look into Blocktopia, even if you don't know about it? This changes. All right, just get to the point. The decentralized metaverse, built and backed by Polygon, unprecedented VR experience. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right at VR. I don't like VR at all. It's not my thing. Me personally, I just don't think VR does that well. I think Quant competes with a lot. They compete with all other layer 2s. They compete with even LTO. LTO's in that same space. Kadena's in that same space, it seems like. They're a hybrid setup, you know, public and private, and they're really going after B2B. So, yeah. I never looked into Clay. They're really just based in South Korea. I know that they are backed by some of the biggest South Korean companies out there, right? But they were way, way, way overhyped. They shot up when they got listed, like all the way to like top 5 or whatever. It's just not my cup of tea. So they kind of like ICP, just they were way too big, and now I think they're settling down to where they should be. Monet, thank you. Opinions on UFO gaming token looks like a good project. UFO gaming looks like a dead project to me. Unless I looked at the wrong one. XTX, no. STX, synthetic, no. Stacks. Stacks is trying to build DeFi on top of Bitcoin. I'm on the side where I don't think it makes sense. A lot of Bitcoin maxis want to see that happen. I'm like, we already have that everywhere. All these other altcoins are made and suited for smart contracts and DeFi and NFTs. You don't need to try to build it on top of Bitcoin. So, not a fan. All right, I'll just say neutral. Jamie, I've talked about Avalanche, latecomer for me, or I'm a latecomer, but they have a lot. They have an incentive program called Rush. They brought a lot of DeFi. Their total value locked is over $10 billion with DeFi. And they have NFT marketplace, or NFTs, I should say. They have a relationship with Tops. I like them. I like them a lot. Joey, thanks for getting me in bed at 3 cents and vet engine at 30 cents. You're welcome. Elron is also doing pretty well. Let's see here. Somewhat well. 20% in the last 30 days, right? They're hovering up there. You know, they're very much like Harmony, yet they're bigger, right? So I think that helps Harmony. But they're also EVM compatible chain. You could consider them like a layer 2. They do have their own ecosystem. They use sharding, so they're very fast. They have a ton of partnerships too. So they are also in that space, but they tend to be stagnant at times. But recently NFTs drove them up a little bit, but they got stagnant for a while. That reminds me, Alan, you're asking about VET. That reminds me, DHL recently just came out and said they're going to do NFTs on VET. But, you know, it's not like DHL is putting their supply chain, you know, on VeChain. But they're just doing NFTs. So that really, I don't know. I don't think that did anything for them. Should I get a bag of Maha DAO? Probably not. Probably not. I'm not a fan of DAOs. They don't really do well. And I've never heard of that project before. Steven, I'm not going to look at that Ragnar Regiment, whatever. Sorry. Someone asked me about that before. Not interested in looking at it. Please advise what to do with my ADA. Alright? You know, I advise you probably just stick with it. Unless your portfolio is 100% in ADA, right? If you're following the 50-25-25 rule, you have a little bit in ADA, right? I think you just hold on to it. It might surprise you. When a DEX comes out and it's working, I think they're going to start pumping. But in the meantime, they could be stagnant. You know, they could be stagnant for quite some time, right? But if your bag is too large in Cardano, you may want to think about diversifying, getting into some of these other coins I've mentioned today. You know, they will definitely help carry your portfolio. Crypto Island? Nah, I'm not gonna look at that. That just looks ridiculous. I'm sorry, Flaming. No. You know, I agree with DJ Flexa. Why are people sleeping on Cosmos? You know, I believe I'm one of the bigger, you know, advocates of Cosmos. I've been talking about them. I love their technology. I love their ecosystem. Their ecosystem is so vast. I mean, it's not like they're doing bad. Okay, they're at 8.2 billion, but they should definitely be higher. They should definitely be a big cap, which they'll probably get to in the future. But Cosmos has so much going for them, and they're really in line with Terra now. So, yeah. Doge's founder was on Wendio yesterday. First NFT game where you can collect tokens in game and go to your wallet. Yeah, I have heard about them. So I think, yeah, I was supposed to do something with them. I don't know what happened there. Never solidified, but yeah, I did briefly look at them. All right, last few questions. Do you think Kusama has much more upside? Yeah, they and Polkadot will continue to do well. Have you looked at Flux partnership with Kadena? No, I have not. That's probably a DeFi project. What is this? Market cap is $667. Doesn't even make any sense. Probably this one. There we go. The other one made no sense at all. It's a next generation scalable decentralized cloud infrastructure. So they're cloud computing. I don't like cloud computing. They don't do very well. Akash Network is also in the same space. Golem is in the same space. None of them do really well. QRED backed by Coinbase Nexo. Yeah, I've looked into this before. Yeah, it's DeFi for institutions. I've looked at them before. I don't know what to think about it. Samoy coin. I had enough to the moon. I don't need a meme coin on Solana. I recently got EverETH, Earning Words. Have you heard of them? No. I never heard of them. EverETH. Probably some staking play. Well, that's just horrible. Yeah, so, no, sorry. I don't know why you got into them. Just seems like that seems like a pure pump and dump right there. All right, guys. I'll let you guys go. Overall, I think this week could be good. We have a new futures coming out tomorrow. We'll see. Because last few days, actually last week, it was pretty obvious that when the market opened, it either went up or down. And then when the market closed, it did the opposite, right? So we'll see the effect this week. But it does look like Bitcoin is holding, right, above 60,000. And it looks like it wants to come back up. Who knows? 62, 63, 64 tomorrow. Maybe it goes back to 65 tomorrow. Could be good. But in the meantime, altcoins are starting to gain their momentum again. Some are really, really hot, and the ones I talked about today definitely do have that momentum. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one.